सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं रे 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम्.
Good afternoon, all. Yeah. Audio is clear? Audio?
Yeah, it is clear. Audio is clear.
Okay, we'll start. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatiim Ashtadashaadhyayiniim Ambattvamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayada Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrtaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Mritam Mahad Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadronatata Jayadratha Jalagam Dharanilopala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Hrananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachas Saroja Mamalam Gitartha Gandotkadam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Buddha Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradhamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marudastunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedais Sanga Padakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyandam na vidusura suragana devaya tasmai namaha. Yes, so we have been discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are in the second chapter. We did up to 21st. Yeah. 21st we finished. From 22nd we have to continue today our discussion. Before that, before we move into the 22nd, we will just discuss a little bit. First, we will read the 22nd verse and then we will discuss. 22nd verse. 20th and 21st was न जायते म्रियदेवा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. That is very clearly explained last class. Na jayate mriyadeva kadachi. The Atma is never born and it never dies. It is ajaha. It is always there. And it is a Kadopanishad mantram. Slightly different, slight difference is there. And the 21st verse also. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam kadham sa purushah partha kam ghatayati hantikam. One who understands this Atma, then one enam means this Atma, Nityam, Ajam, it is always there, ever present, then Saha Purushaha, Kam Khatayati, that human being, that person or that Jiva never thinks that somebody can kill or somebody can prompt other person or somebody can be the cause to kill someone else. So both are not possible. Then Bhagavan continues with the 22nd verse. Vasam, this is a very famous verse. Vasam sijirnani yatha vihaya navani grannhati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanyanyani samyati navani dehi. Naraha, this human being, yatha jirnani vasamsi vihaya, the way we discard our old clothes and wear new one, navani grannati, when how the way we wear new dress, dehi, tatha, the same way, dehi, we'll explain this, who is this dehi? Dehi, jirnani sharirani vihaya, when it discards the body, and anyani navani samjati, it finds or it creates new bodies and continues the journey. This is the meaning of this verse. Before that, we should know who is this dehi. Dehi means one who has deha. One who has body is the dehi. So this is a jiva. A jiva means all the jivas, you, me, human being, all human beings, plants, animals, everything, all the devas, etc. Everything, everyone is jiva. And who is this jiva? This jiva has 5 constituents or 5 ingredients or 5 parts. 5 together is called a jiva. Okay, we should know this very clearly. We know the 3 bodies. We are experts. Causal body, Karana Shariram, then Sukshma Shariram or the subtle body, and gross body, that is Sthula Shariram. So these are the 3 bodies. Sthula Shariram, we know this body which is hard, and Sukshma Shariram is mind. Generally, you can call it as mind or Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chittam. These all 4 together is called Andhakaranam. You can call it as Sukshma Shariram. And Karana Shariram is the causal body. Causal body is the Karanam for these 2 bodies, or it is the, you can call it as, that can Ajnanam, Avidya, or Vasana, you can also take it as Vasana, the ignorance. Because of that, these 2 bodies, it is the creator of these 2 bodies, of Karma Vasana or Vasana. So these are the 3 bodies. And then original consciousness. Okay, consciousness or bodham or atma. Okay, original atma. The atma which explained na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva. It's only one. Only one. Akhanda Satchidananda Bodham. It is what it is. Akhanda Bodham or universal consciousness. There is only one which is there. All the which is the existence, consciousness, bliss or Satchidanandam. All this what we call is what it is. So that when this consciousness reflects in the mind, it is called reflected consciousness. Okay, reflected consciousness. This reflected consciousness is jivatma, atma. Then this reflected consciousness which thinks that I am doing things, I am talking, I am listening, I am walking, okay, I am working, I am running, or I am getting angry, I am getting sad, I am happy. All the emotions and the actions that is being done is that which thinks I am doing things, is the reflected consciousness. See, the explanation we can take it as, suppose you have got, take many vessels, okay, lot of vessels, and put water, big vessel, small vessel, all that. You put water in all those vessels, and you, when the sun is on top, you can see the reflection of the same sun in all those vessels, various vessels, big vessel, small vessel, etc., right? All that, if you see, you look inside, okay, which you put clear water, all pure water you put everywhere, you can see the reflection of the sun in all that, right? And it will appear as if there are thousands or hundreds of suns when you see in that various vessels, is it not? So when you look through the water in the vessel, it will appear as if there are many suns, but we know there is only one sun which reflects through the various waters. Now you take some cow dung, and then mix it in one of the vessels, and another one some colored powder or something like that, okay, some dust you put. Now you see through the same vessels, you will appear that some the reflection is blurred or dim or clouded, it will not be as bright as before, is it not? The same way, the water is the mind and the vessel is this body, okay? So the reflection of the sun which appears to be blurred, etc., right? It's not as bright, okay, dull, dim, etc., is all because of the impurity in the water, or the impurity of the mind is the reason for the appearance, or the reflection appears to be blurred or not bright, as bright, dull. Now if you think carefully, is the reflection actually is not bright, or the water? The reflection is still crystal clear. We don't have to do anything for the reflection to be bright. Reflection is as bright as before, but it is the impurity of the water that we have to remove, or the impurity of the mind has to be cleared, is it not? When the impurity of the mind is removed, then the reflection will be as bright, okay, but still it is a reflection. Understand it is a reflection. Now you break the vessel or you pour the water outside. Is there any reflection there? No. When there is no mind, when there is no vessel, still the sun is ever present. The sun is always there. Even when the vessel is broken, when all other vessels are there with water in it, the sun is ever present. It is not that this vessel is broken and the water is removed, the sun has disappeared. Like that, the consciousness is that which is universal consciousness. When it reflects through this body mind complex, in the ignorance, this reflected consciousness thinks, I am the one doing all this. Here, only the consciousness is the truth. The reflected consciousness and the three bodies are an appearance on the consciousness, which is not true, which is mithya. So the reflected consciousness with the jiva thinks, I am doing everything. He identifies himself, the reflected consciousness identifies with the bodies, that I am the body, I am the mind, that is Sukshma Shariram. And even then, in this case, for even in that situation, there is nothing to worry. Even if in ignorance also, even if in slight ignorance, what is happening? The Sukshma Shariram, the mind which has an unfulfilled desire, or the journey in his ignorance, he continues the journey, and when this gross body is unable to carry out the desires, this body is like a worn or torn cloth. It is like a worn or torn cloth, and this dehi, that which has this, now it has got this sthula shariram is discarded, but there is another body, sukshma shariram is there, right? That mind, the mind finds navani, new body. It creates a new body to fulfill, and the journey is continued. Why worry? Why worry? We're getting a new body now, a fresh body, is it not? So even then, there is this is how the things are happening here. This is the process. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grannati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanyanyani samyati navani dehi. So this journey will stop only when the knowledge is realized, the self is realized. When you know, when you understand this is the process, then what is the continuation? What is the journey that we call the samsaram? The continuous journey that we call is in ignorance. In ignorance, when you look through the water, the dirty water, when you look, the way you see the reflected consciousness, what we have to do is look back towards the sun. Instead of looking through the water, you look towards the sun. When you realize that you are the sun, not the reflected consciousness, you are released. That is all. You have to realize your true nature. The true nature is Atma. I am not this reflected consciousness. I am not this small I who thinks I am this body. I am this mind. Okay. And one who disidentifies or not identifying with the body and mind, who realizes that I am this Atma, the journey stops. The journey is over. The game is over. One who continues, right? So, this body, when it becomes old, that is over, and continues its journey with a fresh body. Now, here there may be a question. Here it is says, no, vasamsi jirnani, when the body becomes worn and torn. What about the death that is happening because of some disease or some other accident, etc., at a very young age? So here we have to understand that the jirnani, vasamsi jirnani, does not mean that becomes 80-year-old or 90 or 100, etc. It means that the prarabdham is over for that body. The prarabdham is over. What is prarabdham is, whenever a new body, when the sukshma shariram is embodied or coming with a fresh body, already the karma vasanas that has to be exhausted is fixed. The karma vasanas which have to be exhausted in this life is fixed. That means everything is already fed in into this body. Already the data is already fed in, and it is like the clock, like a key is the key type clock is there. No, you key and then you release it, and the watch, the clock continues for some time and then it stops. Like that, it is already the karma vasana, whatever for karma vasana to be exhausted is fixed and then released into this life. So when it completes at the age of 30 or 15, due to various reasons, whatever be the reason, that prarabdha is over for that body, and the journey continues. It finds another body for continuation, for exhausting this karma vasana. And if there are any accumulated karma vasana during this years in this, it will be added, and all together it will be going as sanchita karma. This is the sanchita karma. Okay, that we accumulate in this life is agami karma, and that which exhausted is prarabdha karma in this life. Then there will be another question. We will not move from here if we ask question and answer, but that is okay. We have to understand, right? Since what about a jivan mukta, a jnani? Jnani does not have a further life. His life is over here. Then already it is the karma vasana. The karma vasana is fixed for this, as we discussed just now. And then what happens to the balance in the sanjidam? So please understand that the prarabdha, it is emptied out and then sent. This body is the last. All the karma vasana is exhausted. It can exhaust maybe at the age of 8, or maybe at the age of 15, or whenever it is, the karma vasana will be over, and then there is no accumulation of karma vasana, etc. This is like, see, how do you know this? When there is no more desires in the mind, nothing, I don't want anything, I have got nothing to do, kritam krityam, all done, right? Dhanyoham, I am done, I have got no. Bhagavan says in one of the things, I have got nothing to do in three worlds, trishu lokeshu kinchana, right? Bhagavan says, Krishna says, I have got no karma to be, no duty in all the, even all three worlds, he says in one of the verses. So like that, there is absolutely nothing. It is like, in Rudrabhishekam and all, you must have seen, in a vessel, there will be a lot of water, and then at the center, there will be a small hole, and through which the darbha is kept, and then continuously water will be, like a stream, it will be falling on the Shivalingam. So the Abhishekam will be on. It's called Dhara, right? So when the water is over, there is nothing will be coming. You look, nothing is there. There is no. The water is stopped. That means this is empty now, right? Abhishekam is not over yet. Still, Rudram and Chamakam is not completed, but the water is over. Like that. So there is nothing coming out. Like that, the karma vasana it gets exhausted, and there is no more karma vasana, and he is jivan mukta or jnani. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani ghrannati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. So this jiva continues his journey by discarding this like a cloth, and then finding a new cloth, or finding a new body. Not finding, actually creates a new body as per the karma vasana, as per the desires. It produces a body. This body is the result of the desires of our previous janma or janmas. Okay, that can be a human or animal or plant, could be anything. So we have all gone through various janmas as various jivas, humans, animals, plants, devas, God knows what. All after all this, maybe a kida or anything it could be, right? All that we have got a janma of human being, where the mind is very bright, where the buddhi is very bright, where the knowledge is possible, where vidya is possible, where it is possible to exhaust all the karma vasanas here and get enlightened and stop this game. 23. Nainam chindandi shastrani. Next two verses, Bhagavan emphasizes the Atma. What is Atma? Nainam chindandi shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati marutaha. Shastrani. Shastrani means weapons. Enam na chindandi. This shastrani cannot kill, or cannot pierce, or cannot make it into pieces. Enam means this Atma cannot do. Na chindandi, cannot hurt, it cannot pierce. Pavakaha enam na dahati. A fire cannot burn this. Then apaha enam na kledayanti. Water cannot wet this Atma. Marutaha na shoshayati. The wind cannot make it dry. Okay. So here it is an indirect way of saying you are not the five big elements. You are not the space. You are not the space. You are not the fire. You are not the water. And you are not the air. And you are not the earth also. Because Atma is not a matter. Atma is not a jada vastu. Whereas a matter can be spliced, or it can be pierced, you can make it into pieces, right? The body, you can make it into pieces. The hand, left hand, etc., you can cut it, right? When there is a disease, etc., you can cut the this one, you can do with the body, you can do. Whereas atma, you cannot touch atma, you cannot do anything to the atma, because it is a consciousness. It is not a matter of matter. It is it is not a matter which can be cut, which cannot be burnt, right? It's the it cannot, you cannot, the body you can burn it, right? When you can burn the body, or if something touches, it gets burnt, and it can get dry also, right? Even Arjuna says earlier. So it can, the body you can wet, you can do anything to this body. But atma is that consciousness in you. The consciousness is ever present in all states, right? Even when the body is there, even when the body is not available, even when the body is reflects this, when in this body the consciousness reflects, but even when the body is not there, you are there, right? Even when we are born, there is absolutely no change at all during the changes of this body, from the time we is born, or just from the womb itself till the time about 100 year or 90 year when the body disappears. Still up to the time of death, we say I am the same. There is no change. I don't think that I am the same as when I was 5 year old. No, I am the same. I am all the time. There is absolutely no change during the 80, 90 years. Then why we are all not able to grasp the point that we were ever there? The consciousness was ever there, before or after. There is no before, after. There is no birth. When there is no birth, then where is the death? So the birth and death is for the body, right? So, but this Atma is Nainam Chindan. It's the consciousness, it is the Bodham. See, if there is no Bodham, then there is no way we can experience this whole universe. The universe experience through this sense organs and this body is possible because of that Bodham, because of that conscious. I am conscious, that is why I experience this world. If I am not conscious, if there is no consciousness in me, there is no experience. So the experience is in consciousness, or consciousness is what is experiencing everything. It is the consciousness that is experiencing. It is not the eyes experiencing. It is not the ear is listening. It is the consciousness is what is listening. But somehow in our ignorance, we think the small I am listening. We forget the Bhagavan. We forget the Atma. So the experience, all the experience, every moment experience is consciousness experiencing. But this is just instrument. This is like suppose you wear a 3D glass and watching a movie, it will appear like something is coming towards you, and then there are things around you. And even we will, in our, even though we know, we put our hands to grab the ice cream in front of us when you watch a movie, a 3D movie. But it's very obvious that there is nothing 3D there. There is nothing that is coming towards me. There is nothing, no ice cream in front of me, or the chocolate in front of me, right? It's very clear. There is nothing there. But still, because of this instrument on my eye, I think these 3D are real. Now you apply the same thing to your eyes, your ears, your smell, taste. All the five sense organs are like that instruments. Through the instruments, whatever you experience is like this. It is just a picture. It is just a still picture. Only the mind projects it as a movie. It is just the consciousness experiencing a picture moment by moment. That is the only truth. Everything else is the production of the mind. And in that production, in that movie, we identify ourselves as I am the real, forgetting that I am only an actor and I am playing the role. We become the role, start crying, jumping with joy, etc. Whereas the Atma, the consciousness, nothing can touch it. No shokam, no jumping with joy. Nothing happens to the Atma. 24th is same 24th verse. Achedyoyam adakyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nityas sarvagadasthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. Exactly same. I am achedyaha. The Atma, I am means, see, I am in Sanskrit is so close to, I am means this which is so close to me. This I am. Atma achedyaha. Cannot cut it, you cannot hurt it. I am adahyaha, akledyaha, ashoshyaha, evacha. Cannot be burnt, it cannot be make wet, then cannot be dried. I am nityaha, means eternal, always. No, see that here the time, the time is in consciousness. You contemplate on deep sleep. In deep sleep, when you in deep sleep, is there a time? There is no time. While sleeping, is there a time? No. When you, after getting up, if you don't look at the watch, look at the watch, can you exactly tell how much time did you sleep? Impossible. Because during sleep, there is no time. But the moment we open our eyes, the small eye, the reflected consciousness, ayam starts, ahankaram, and then the space-time starts, then the time starts. So in consciousness, there is no time. The time is in consciousness. So the consciousness, we have to understand that the consciousness is from this simple sleep experience, we know that the time is in consciousness, or in other words, consciousness is beyond time. I am achedyo. That is what. So nityaha. That is what. Nityaha. Sarvagadaha. Why sarvagadaha? Sarvagadaha, because all that you experience, all your experience, you are seeing the sun, you are seeing the clouds, you are seeing the space also, you know that there is space, right? In space everything else is there. Whatever you see, the galaxies, right? Everything is shining, everything is being known to you, or your experience of all days is in consciousness. And those bodies, or those jivas that you see, the humans, the plants, animals, whatever you see, they are manifested as they because of consciousness. See, suppose you are looking at a cow. Okay, the cow is looking at you. When you are feeding the cow, you look at its eyes. What is it that making the cow looking at you? What is it? A dog or a bird or anything that is looking at you? What is it behind that? First, you have realized that it is because of the consciousness in me is the reason for me to experience this world. The same way, the cow or the animal or the plants, they are experiencing this universe because of the consciousness in them. This is applicable even to the sun. That is why Shruti said, Asavadityo Brahma, Brahmaiva Satyam, Brahmaivahamasmi. Yaschasavaditye sa ekaha sa yaschayam purushe yaschasavaditye. The same thing in this Purusha is the same thing in this sun also. That is what it is. When you look at the sun in the morning, or when you are looking at the moon, or when you are looking at the stars, etc., they are expressing themselves or they are experiencing this universe as devas or whatever because of the consciousness in them. The same way, the consciousness, that is why Sarvagadaha. That is why Sarvagadaha. We have to understand this. That is what Andar Bahishcha Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha Purusha Suktam. This is the meaning of it. Everywhere there is only Narayana here. Narayana is nothing but Atma or Bhagavan. Sarvagataha. Sthanuhu. Sthanuhu is actually another name, even in, I think, Vishnu Sahasranamam is there. Shivam. Sthanuhu. Achalaha. Sanatanaha. Achalaha. It doesn't move at all. Why it cannot move? How can it move? When the whole universe is filled with consciousness, how it can move? The movement is chalanam. Chalanam, that which is moving, is karma. Any movement is karma. Anything that is not moving is akarma. Akarma is Brahman. So, the movement that we see, the chalanam that we see, there has to be something achalam. There has to be something which is unmoving. Only if there is something which is sthanuhu, which is achalaha, then only you can experience the movement. You can see the movement. See, for example, this body is moving. Moving doesn't mean this hand movement or head movement I am saying. That is also movement only. What I am saying is the change that is happening from the time we are born till the time death. Is that there is a continuous movement is there. This movement is being experienced in consciousness, which is unmoving. The same way, in consciousness, which is achalaha, which is not moving, all movement is happening. This movement we call it samsaram. This movement we call it flow, etc. So the true nature is consciousness, and this consciousness itself is appearing as this. See, there are no two things now. We should not get confused. One is consciousness, other one is this experience or this all the bodies, etc. No. See, it is like this. It's called a vivartam. A vivartam. Vivartam is when you go to a desert, when you see a mirage, the water that you see, there are no two things there. Is there a water as well as a desert? No, there are no two things. The water appears on the desert. Why there is water appearing on the desert? We can have a total debate for years together. Maybe very many scholars come and then discuss why water is appearing on a desert. Why water is? It is its swabhavam. It is how it appears. It is its nature to appear there water on a desert. That's all. There is no other reason for that. There is absolutely no reason. Even when you know that there is no water there, still after doing a research on the desert, you see, okay, I understood there is no water. The water, even a drop of water cannot wet even a one grain of sand there. The sand will be as dry as ever. But you come back and again you watch, you will see water there. Water will be there because it's nature. The same way, the consciousness, its nature to appear as many. It is its nature. The appearance is not true. Why appearance is not true? Because the experience, what we do, it's experiencing through an instrument, and the instrument will show whatever it sees. A 3D specs will show 3D things. If you put a red glass, it will show as the whole world is red only. An animal looks the world in a different way, its own way, and it will say something else. Suppose you ask the animal, what do you see? It will say so many other things. Even why go to that? You ask some another human being, he will explain the whole world as something totally different from your explanation of this world. Think about it. This is what it is. Each individual sees differently, and then whatever he thinks, he will say. Even Vedanta also, when people listen to this Vedanta, many people will interpret the Vedanta as their own, and then they will explain. Later, when you listen to their interpretation of what you yourself said, will be different. Think about this later. Okay. So, this is what is appearance. That is why it is an appearance. Okay. So, अच्छेद्योयम अदाह्योयम अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यं सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोयम सनातनः. It's always there, ever present. Sanatanah. We'll go to 225. Avyaktoyam achindyoyam avikaryoyam tasmadevam viditvainam nanushojitumarhasi. Avyaktoyam. Avyaktoyam means this Atma cannot be seen by the sense organs. It cannot see, because whatever you see, hear, all the five indriyas can only touch matter. Okay, it cannot be experienced with the sense organs. The five sense organs cannot grab it. Avyaktoyam. Then achintyoyam. Okay, then it can be caught by using the mind. With the mind, can you get it? With the mind, can you find this Atma? With the mind, cannot. It cannot. That is why yato vacho nivartande apraapya manasa saha. With the mind, you cannot find this. With the words, you cannot express it. With the indriyas, with the five sense organs, you cannot catch this Atma. Then what are we doing here? What are we discussing here? We are discussing, we have to understand it. We have to understand only. We cannot be caught. We have to understand in our buddhi that our true nature is Atma. Our nature, our identification with the body and mind is not true. Our identification is Atma, and it is Satchidanandam, and Anandam is my Swarupam. I am pure consciousness. Consciousness is Anandam. All the impurities are connected. The mind, the impurity of the mind, the impurity of the body, etc., is not a property of Atma. Atma is different. Atma is separate from this body mind complex. Know that. That's all. You have to just know it. The true nature is I am consciousness. I am not this body and mind. Avyaktoyam, achintyoyam, avikaryoyam. Vikaram. Vikaram means modification or change. Change that is happening. The change that is happening is for the mind and the body. Avikaryoyam. Atma is abhikaryam. There is no change here. There is absolutely no change. The change is happening in the prakriti. Okay, in the energy level, right from the sukshma energy, right from the Shakti Spandanam, they call it, the vibrations, right? The energy level, everything changes. Whereas Atma does not change. There is no modification for Atma. अविकार्यो यमुच्यते तस्माद एवं विदित्वा एनं विदित्वा. So hey Arjuna, you realize your true nature as Atma, which is, as told earlier in the 24th and 23rd verses, right? You are that. Nani sochitum arhasi. You have no right to grieve. Nani sochitum arhasi means you don't deserve to cry. That means you have no right to cry. In other words, if you cry, it's a crime. Okay. Avyaktoyam achindyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmadevam viditvainam nanusochitum arhasi. Not only you are Atma, Bhishma, Drona, all of them are Atma. Everything is consciousness only. The consciousness itself is appearing as this body mind complex, and you are also wrongly identifying yourself as this body mind complex, and because of that you think that Bhishma is body mind, Drona is body mind, all others are body mind. That is why you are thinking I am killing, and Drona is making others kill others, etc. All this wrong notion is because of your wrong identification with yourself, whereas your true nature is Atma. Atma is Ajaha, Nityam, Shashwatam. So there is no reason for you to grieve. There is no reason for you to mourn. Nanusochitum arhasi. So this, the Prakriti, right? The Prakriti is, it is just, it is continuously, the change is its nature, right? The change is its nature. So you identify yourself as this change, and then you are thinking you are doing all this. So these four things are very important things. It is because of the attachment, aversion, kartrutvam, and bhoktrutvam, doership and enjoyership. So kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, attachment and aversion. These are the four main culprits. These are the four things that is causing this ignorance. Okay, so we'll stop here. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate Tasmadevam viditvainam nanushojitumarhasi. So Arjuna, there is no reason for you to grieve, there is no reason for you to mourn, no reason for you to cry. From 26th, we will continue in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Harihi Om Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you very much.